Hello everyone, today we'll be doing with our class 12 English one of the poem entitled Let Me Not to the Marriage of True Minds by William Shakespeare, who lived from 1564 to 1616, that is during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I of England. William Shakespeare is an English poet, playwright, and actor widely regarded as the greatest writer in English language. The poem that we're going to study today is entitled Let Me Not to the Marriage of True Minds. Is a sonnet taken out from his collection, which was published in the year 1609 under the simple title Sonnets. So this very poem is Sonnet 116. It follows the structure of Shakespearean sonnet, and Shakespearean sonnet is a poem written, or Shakespearean sonnets are poems written by Shakespeare on the variety of themes, and it follows the rhyme scheme of A B A B, C D C D, E F E F G G. This very poem presents to us the subject of love, what true love is and what it is not, by comparing it to a lighthouse and a star, and at the end saying that if there has been no love, he would not have written, and all those things. So to understand that sonnet, that 14 lines, we will divide it into 3 quatrains and a couplet at the end. So we'll begin with the first quatrain. The first quatrain reads like this: Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when its alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. So, let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. If we try to translate this, it means let me not admit impediments to the marriage of true minds. Now, marriage, there we can relate it to the ceremony and wedding ceremony, and these impediments, the word impediments is related there, and back at the days of Shakespeare, the priest in the wedding ceremony use these words to admit, and impediments means obstacle. So the priest used to ask the two individuals trying to unite to admit impediments if there is any obstacle that would forbid them from getting married, or to confess if there is any obstacle. So it is that the priest used to use that word, and Shakespeare here trying to say that he would not admit impediments in the marriage of true minds, or like he wants not to allow that impediments to happen in the marriage of the true minds. And minds, now marriage is a union of two individuals tying a knot to make a family, 2 or more individuals, and that way it makes a family. So minds, but here it is a marriage not of a heart or of a soul, but it is of a minds. So it could mean the deep and genuine relationship, which is truthful, loyal, and faithful. So minds, which includes, we can like both relate it to both the physical as well as spiritual. Love is not love. Love is not love. What kind of love is not love? Let's see. Which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Here Shakespeare says that love is not love. Love is not love when it changes, when someone tries to change them. Or love is not true love when it bends with when it bends along with the situation or time. So remover and alteration can be kind of time. So those remover and those alteration that are trying to alter them could be time. And it says if they alter, if they change, if love change and love alters or love removes along with the time, it is not true love. And according to him, love does not change along with time. True love does not change along with time. And according to Shakespeare, true love does not bend along with the remover that are trying to remove them. So it does not go away along with the time that are trying to change them or that are trying to remove or bend them. But it says true love stands that and then is always strong, constant. They always stay like true to one another. It doesn't change and it doesn't bend along with the time. So that is what the first quatrain is trying to say. So it follows the rhyme scheme of A, B, A, B, because minds, finds, A, love, move, B, B. Now we will go to the second quatrain. The second quatrain, oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bard, whose words are known, although his height can be taken. So in the second quatrain, Shakespeare tries to compare love to a landmark, an ever-changing landmark. So first of all, he compares that ever-changing landmark that is in the sea to a lighthouse. He compares it to a lighthouse. In a life journey, he says love is a lighthouse that looks on tempest and is never shaken. So that lighthouse that stands in the sea is not shaken, not moved when the storm is furious, when there is a bad weather, a furious weather. It does not shake or it does not move along with those bad weathers. So he says that true love is that kind of lighthouse that shows a direction to a captain of the ship while in the sea during that stormy weather. It is the star to every wandering bard. So this is love. Love is the star. He means to say that love is the star, or here a star, he's talking about a North Pole star that guides a sailor to determine the direction while in the sea, while sailing. So he says that true love is like a star to the lost ship. It is a guide. So true love is something like a guide that guides. So a star is also an ever-fixed mark. Ever-fixed mark because it's fixed up in the sky. So love is like that star. He says that love is like that very star, whose words are known. So he says that whose. Now this is star, about the star. He's talking about the star, and the word of a star cannot be measured. Though its height can be measured, the word or a word of a star cannot be measured. So just like that, a word of a true love cannot be measured. That's what he's trying to say in the second quatrain. So the second quatrain follows the rhyme scheme of CD, that is mark, bark, that follows C, shaken, taken follows D, because it sounds the same. Now the third quatrain, we will now go to the third quatrain. In the third quatrain it reads, love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the age of doom. And this third quadrant, he says that love is not time's fool. Love is not a fool to the time. True love is not a fool. Now, here a fool is a gesture that runs around the king and then tries to make a joke. So it says that true love is not like that. True love is not someone who makes a joke. So true rosy lips and cheeks. Now these rosy lips and cheeks is about physical beauty. So rosy, it can be of a rose plant, and we know they are not permanent, temporary, just like that. The physical beauty, it fades away with the age. It doesn't stay forever. So it says true love. This point Shakespeare is trying to say that true love doesn't fade away along with the time. So true love is not a fool. With peace bending sickle compass come, and true love doesn't go doesn't stay along, is not a fool to the time as well. They don't live within the reach of the sickle. Now sickle is a tool that is used to cut down some grass, or used when a reaper reaps their field. So the sickle compass come, it can be of the time. So love, true love is not something that is a fool to time, and then that doesn't go along with the time, that doesn't bend along with the time. Love alters not with his brief hour and weeks. Now love alters not with his, this is time's brief hour and weeks. So along with the time, a person grow old, their beauty, their skin, everything fades. The beauty of the physical beauty fades. So the point is trying to say that true love doesn't fade along with that physical beauty. And it says, and it doesn't go along with time's brief hour and weeks, but bears it out even to the age of the doom. But says that true love stands till the end of the days. Now doom could be of the end of the days. So to a person, when the end of the days could be death. So true love rather stands till the end of the days. It bears and it endures altogether. It doesn't change along with the time, but goes till the end of the days. So in that way, the third quadrant says that love, the poet is trying to say that true love is not a fool, and it doesn't change along with the time's brief hour and weeks, but rather goes till the end of the days. The last two couplet, which follows the scheme of G, G, in the third quadrant it follows the rhyme scheme of E, F, E, F, and the last two lines, that is a couplet, follows the rhyme scheme of G, G. So this couplet is different from the three quadrants, and it says, if these be error and upon me proved, I never read, nor no man ever loved. Here, after explaining what true love is, what it is and what it is not, after giving the definition of what true love is, the poet says that if this is not true, what the definition which he has given is not true, then he says he never write upon the subject of love. He would have never wrote anything upon the subject of love, and no man would have ever experienced that feeling of love. But since the definition and whatever definition he has given and written based on true love, that is why he has written, as well as men experience that emotion called love. So with this, we come to the end of the sonnet 116. I hope this helps you. It would be so lovely if you could go yourself through the text, try to understand, reflecting back to this video. Thank you.